I'm an Idaho-born realtor, and here are 9 of the things I would miss the most if I didn't live here. And if you don't live in Idaho, you may be missing them too. First, and for many Idahoans, most importantly, we have incredibly quick and easy access to the great outdoors. Mountains, rivers, hiking trails, backcountry and wilderness, and pretty much any kind of outdoor adventure you can think of. Idaho has unmatched diversity when it comes to natural resources. Well, obviously, except for the ocean. We don't have any ocean here in Idaho, but we have pretty much everything else. I asked a group of my Idaho friends what they would miss most if they had to move to another state. And outdoor activities here in Idaho came first. Skiing right on your doorstep, fishing and hiking, the amazing Boise Greenbelt, bird and big game hunting, soaking in natural hot springs, backpacking, rock climbing, you name it, we probably have it on almost 35 million acres of public land. And our access to nature is unparalleled. Even living in Boise or the Treasure Valley, a half-hour drive takes you to new outdoor adventures every weekend. People from other states may wonder why we have huge garages in Idaho, but our cars and trucks always seem to be parked outside. Well, it's because our garages are full of outdoor equipment. Yours will be too if you decide to move to Idaho, so get ready to buy that camper you've always wanted. Next, because my hometown is Emmett, I had a lot of fellow Emmetites weigh in, and they all mention the unmatched view of the Emmett Valley when you drive over new Freezeout Hill. I have to agree, that spectacular view fills me with love for my hometown every time I see it. Drive to Emmett on Highway 16. You'll pass mile after mile of dry grazing land, low rolling hills, and sagebrush, nothing especially interesting. You may spot a tantalizing view of the butte that looms over the Emmett Valley, but it's only when you drive through the cleft in the hills that we call New Freezeout that you fully understand what an Emmett native loves about this beautiful little valley. The valley and river will spread out at your feet, stretching westward for miles and miles, with the big and little buttes and the southern foothills forming a dramatic backdrop to the north and to the south. When the remaining fruit orchards are in bloom in the spring, the foothills are painted with swaths of creamy white and delicate pink blossoms. Do make the trip to Emmett and be sure to stop at the viewpoint on Freezeout Hill to enjoy that magnificent view. And don't forget to stop and buy some fruit and vegetables while you're there. Number 3. My friend Erin reminded me that Idaho has 4 distinct seasons, sometimes all in one week or even one day. In January of this year, 2024, we had almost 2 feet of snowfall in the Treasure Valley, making it the 4th highest snowfall since record keeping began. And then we turned right around and had a record-breaking high of 66 degrees a week or so later. So yes, you can definitely experience 4 seasons in Idaho, and you may not have to wait long to experience all 4. Our fall season is especially beautiful, but it does seem to be getting shorter and shorter every year, so don't blink or you might miss it. Another Idaho plus, well, it's very dry here, and for the most part, we do have very clean air. Some years we do get a lot of smoke from forest and range fires, both from Idaho and from other states. And the Treasure Valley may experience temperature inversions in the winter time. That's where warmer air traps pollution underneath it. But most of the time, the air is beautiful and clear, with the occasional whiff of sugar beets from the sugar factory in Nampa. If you've never smelled sugar beet factory, it's an interesting thing to smell. Number 4. Idaho is uniquely situated to have few natural disasters, certainly fewer than most U.S. states. We don't have hurricanes or torrential rainstorms, and major flooding is rare. We do have earthquakes, but with our relatively sparse population, our earthquakes cause little damage. It's not like we're California with a major fault line running through an area populated by millions of people. Idaho isn't prone to tornadoes. We get one occasionally, usually in a sparsely populated area, and to my knowledge, no one has ever died or even been injured in an Idaho tornado. Probably forest fires and range fires constitute Idaho's greatest natural disaster risk. Heavy snowfall can be a problem in the sense that if a very heavy snowfall melts too quickly, especially up in the mountains, there may be flooding downstream. And of course, here in the Treasure Valley, we're downstream. Tsunamis? Nope, no ocean, so no risk. Cyclones? The same. Just like with hurricanes, you need an ocean for a cyclone. So we don't worry that that much about natural disasters in the gem state, and I think that's a really good thing. Number 5, and this one comes courtesy of my own husband. He said if Idahoans have to move to another state, they will miss their RV garages. I think this is my husband's way of hinting that he'd like to have an RV garage, or as my friend Maggie says, a giant garage with living quarters attached. Speaking as an Idaho realtor, an RV garage is a greatly desired home feature in a state where many people have tons of outdoor equipment, including boats, motorcycles, campers, and yes, even RVs. And some of those RVs are as big as a city bus. You'd be surprised how many people want an RV garage but don't actually own an RV, my own husband included. They're a great alternative to paying monthly fees for a storage unit that may or may not be conveniently located near your home and which may or may not have good security. An RV garage can often have a loft added to it, perfect for a home office, a den, or private living quarters. You'd of course need a building permit for those things, but I know plenty of people who've done just that, and they make a really neat feature that adds a lot of value to your home. An RV garage is also terrific for that extra long pickup truck that won't fit into a standard garage. I've sold several for that reason lately. Honestly, it's pretty easy to justify an RV garage here in Idaho. By the way, if this video is helpful to you, please subscribe to my channel, leave a friendly comment, or give the video a like. Trolls, you can just go away. All right, thanks. Number 6, no matter how much you love the great outdoors, sooner or later you will probably want or need a more urban amenity like specialized medical care or airport access to the rest of the United States. Boise is such a popular destination both for tourists and for those moving to Idaho because it's still a small city and has small city charm. It has the huge hospital, the well-managed airport, but it also has a little zoo, lovely art museum, many parks, first-class outdoor Shakespeare festival, charming train depot, and many historic downtown buildings. I love the distinctive Basque culture that is so much in evidence throughout Boise. I love that you can live anywhere in Boise and be just minutes away from skiing, hiking in the foothills, biking on the Greenbelt, or a dozen other outdoor activities. If I didn't live here in the Treasure Valley, I would totally miss the fact that Boise is a very small and livable city with traffic that is still manageable and mostly easy. The truth is, you're rarely more than half an hour or maybe 40 minutes from anything and everything in the Treasure Valley. I was at the state capitol building for a meeting earlier this month, right in the heart of downtown. Our meeting ended at 4:30 p.m. and by 5:05 I was pulling into my garage 12 miles away at my home in Meridian, even though I was driving through what amounts to Boise's version of rush hour traffic. During the middle of the day, that trip would have taken me maybe 10 minutes less. We do have the occasional traffic jam on the freeway, especially if there's been an accident or if there's a lot of snow, but it's still nothing like what people endure day in, day out in many larger cities. It's very manageable. We don't have much public transport, but our roads are manageable. Okay, reason number 7. Parents have a great deal of choice for their children's education here in Idaho. Whether it's homeschooling, public school, private school, public charter school, or some mixture of the above, there is something for everyone, and the choice is up to the parents, not the state. Idaho has a reputation as a very homeschool-friendly state. If that interests you, you can network with various Idaho homeschooling groups to get the latest information so that you can make the best decisions for your own children. Number 8, and this kind of goes with number 7, expect fewer government rules and regulations in Idaho. Some of those rules you may miss if you had them in your previous state and they work to your favor, but for most people moving to Idaho, less government regulation is what they're looking for, so it should come as no surprise to them when we don't have a rule prohibiting this or forcing you to do that. Okay, so that is kind of the Idaho way, something that I hope you will look forward to when you move here. Finally, number 9. If I didn't live in Idaho, I would really miss certain Idaho foods. Spicy Basque chorizo sausage, served on a bun at the state fair every August, as my friend Christy reminded me. Finger steaks with fry sauce, invented right here in the Gem State. And the fact that you can grab the most amazing freshly picked corn, fruit, berries, melons, all from a roadside truck all summer and fall long. So easy and so cheap. And I would miss the James Beard nominee chefs and restaurants here in the Treasure Valley, brew pubs with beer right on tap, made here in Idaho, not to mention restaurants serving excellent wines from Gem State wineries. Oh, and the incredible Curabota ham and Wagyu beef from Snake River Farms. We're very much a farm and ranch state, and we've got the good food to prove it. Come on out and try. So, what did my friends say they would miss if they had to leave Idaho? Well, given that the Treasure Valley had a record-breaking amount of snow in January, as I already mentioned, pretty much everyone said they wouldn't miss snow shoveling. Ask them the same question in August, they'll probably say they wouldn't miss the heat if they had to leave Idaho. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.